Welcome everyone, I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and now that all of the film has been watched and all of the grades are in, it's time for the FBGP Scouting NFL Draft Prospect Preview presented by Crossover. Before we get started with our rankings, here's how we gather our grades and what they actually mean. First, we watch a minimum of 3 full games on a prospect, his best game, his worst game, and the best possible matchup. And second, we grade on 15 key points specific to the position to equal 100 points in total. Now here's what the grades you'll see by a prospect name will actually mean. Prospects that have earned grades in the 90s graded out as potential future NFL All-Pros. Prospects in the 80s are considered future Pro Bowl players. Grades in the 70s represent solid NFL starters, and grades in the 60s are players that we believe are spot starters or situational starters in the NFL. And if you notice, we don't use the word reserve or backup because we personally feel as though there's no such thing as backups in the NFL, only starters in waiting. So without further ado, let's kick off our rankings by taking a look at our top 10. We're going to break this thing up into 2 videos, free safeties and strong safeties. And this is our free safety video. And our number 1 free safety prospect in this year's draft class is Budda Baker out of Washington. His game compares favorably to LaMarcus Joyner of the Los Angeles Rams. He's an excellent football player that happens to be an excellent athlete. He's more of a combo guy with the ability to blitz, cover in the slot as a safety, and he's a tremendous athlete that can literally play all 4 spots in the secondary. In the slot is where I think he has a chance to truly thrive. Ohio State's Malik Hooker checks in at number 2. The 6'2", 205-pound safety is a classic deep third safety with elite ball skills. He reminds me a lot of Jarius Byrd and how he can shrink the width of the field with his range. Tackling and run support is a bit up and down, but overall he's the best classic deep safety in the draft with great range from sideline to sideline. Adam Jones out of Northwestern State is a deep sleeper in his draft class. He came into the season with some buzz, but he still garners a lot of buzz here at Football Gameplan. He's a terrific football player, and he can be a deep third safety because of his instincts and the angles that he takes to the football. He's also capable of being a strong safety that you can trust back deep because of his ability to tackle in space. He has great ball skills, and his game reminds me a lot of Darren Sharper. Taking a look at the rest of our top 10, David Jones of Richmond will be coming off an injury, but before that, he was going to be at least a Shrine Game invite or at least an All-Star Game invite. He has played all across the secondary for the Spiders and has above average ball skills. I'm a big fan of Fish Smithson's game of Kansas. He was a standout at the East-West Shrine Game all week long and has solid all-around game in my opinion. Speed and range limits him to a half-field short area zone and man coverage guy, but he has a knack for always being in the right place at the right time. Jamil Jackson of Grambling State is a classic free safety that's as fluid as they come. He can also be trusted in the slot versus wide receivers. I believe he has solid instincts and also very good range sideline to sideline. Marcus Williams of Utah has really good range and is an explosive first step that covers ground tremendously and also going sideline to sideline as well as downhill. Casey DeAndre out of New Hampshire is a terrific athlete that played both corner and safety for the Wildcats. He has good enough quicks to mirror and match slot wide receivers, running backs, and also tight ends. I think he's better as a short area defender than back deep and also has value as a kickoff returnman. Rayshawn Jenkins of Miami takes really good angles to the football and shows above average fluidity for the position. Marcus May of Florida is a much better alley defender than deep safety and shows competency in run support. I think he's best as a third safety. Now, rounding out our free safety rankings with 11 through 18, Demetrius Cox of Michigan State has very good speed and agility on top of the fact that he takes really good angles to the football and also isn't afraid to step up and run support. He's a rare sleeper from a Power 5 program. John Johnson of Boston College and Josh Jones of North Carolina State could moonlight between a third safety and nickel linebacker. Both guys are very versatile and very good versus the run. Jock Bryant of Florida A&M is one to keep an eye on. I believe with his ability in the alley and in run support, he'd excel as a third safety or a slot role in the NFL. Bryant takes great angles to the ball carrier with an above average sense of timing to deliver the blow. His okay speed will limit him or limit the opportunities back deep, but he is still a very good talent coming out of the MEAC. Trey Robinson of Furman is another prospect that had a lot of buzz coming into the season. He's more of a combo guy, and I believe at some point in his career, he'll slowly start to transition to more of a strong safety type. What's impressive about his game is that he has really good football IQ, and I thought he performed well against Michigan State and UCF last season. If he can drop about 10 pounds, he can regain that fluidity that we saw from him earlier in his career. I think he has gotten a bit too heavy over the past season, but was still a big-time playmaker for the Paladins. So that's a wrap for our 2017 FBGP Scouting Draft Prospect Preview presented by Crossover. To see more of our individual scouting reports, follow us on Twitter at FBGP Scouting and bookmark the page, footballgameplan.com/FBGP Scouting. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan, where you can get all of our scouting videos, mock drafts, pro day videos, and interviews with NFL draft prospects. And one more thing, subscribe to us on iTunes under Football Game Plan Podcast.